Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And my apologies again for being so late, especially to you, Katie. I know, is it super late right now in Japan?
Yeah, it's like towards approaching midnight now, but it's all good.
Okay. All
We're
right.
gonna power
All
through
right.
this. And I could actually get some sleep, and it'll all be good.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks so
So
much for setting all this up. I know it's a nightmare with time zones, so yeah.
it's complicated. Yes, it is. But really happy to have you. Most of the from the Koala community, at least most of us know you already. But would you mind starting by introducing yourself and telling us what you're working on those days?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. So my name's Katie, and I'm director of Abridge Academy, which is a company offering teaching resources mostly aimed at online ESL teachers. We also have some stuff for science teachers and stuff too, by the way. So if anyone's teaching science and wants to chat about those, feel free to reach out. So we're offering kind of interactive curriculum resources that have got all kinds of games and drag and drop activities and trying to make it lots of fun for students. And it works really well with Koala Go. So it's kind of specifically designed for this kind of very interactive platform. That is me in a nutshell. Oh, that's my company in a
Nice.
nutshell. Me, myself, I'm a teacher in the UK. Well, I was a teacher in the UK. I'm now a teacher in Japan, teaching English here. But yeah, I was a science teacher originally actually in the UK. I kind of did a very brief intro to Abridge Academy already. So basically we have online ESL teaching slides. It's like a step-by-step curriculum as well, which means that if you're teaching students, if you're familiar with, someone mentioned VIP Kid before, I think Sherry, yeah. I talked with Powerfish before as well, actually. So like another one of those sort of companies, and they will have that sort of step-by-step curriculum where you sort of log in as a teacher and it's all ready to go. You just open up your class and you start teaching is kind of the idea. And we want to create something a little bit like that, but for independent online teachers, so they could have that kind of ready to go curriculum. It's all step by step, so that students are going to gradually through the grammar points. They're going to build on the previous classes, so they're going to make more steady progress. That was kind of the aim. We're setting all of this up. I think if I share my screen, I can show you an example class. So I think most people here are familiar with Koala. Yeah, it's this amazing online teaching platform. And when you first log in, you'll end up on your whiteboard, which looks something like this. The first time with no activities, but you can create activities and things to go on here. And we could talk a bit more about that probably later. But what I want to focus on is the slides in particular. So if you go to the shared browser at the bottom of your screen, you open this up and it loads. So you end up on the Koala Go Marketplace. And we've actually got quite a few Abridge Academy lessons already available for free on the marketplace, so you can find them within here. Like if you just search in the box for Abridge, you'll find several of them can come up, or you can see all the results here, which is really helpful if you're looking specifically for our slides. Or if you search under ESL and then Genially slides, it should also come up with those and similar curriculum that's also available. And then from there, you just click open, or you see more details for more information about it before opening it, and it will open up in the browser. So here is one I prepared earlier. So we've got here an example lesson on fruits. So this is one of the kind of very beginners level lessons, but I kind of want to show this as it has a lot of interactivity. Kind of works really well with the Koala platform. So you can kind of click through the slides. This one is, as I say, kind of aimed at beginners. So it's got lots of fun kind of characters. We've got Amy and Tom there.
So that flag, those flags that you had on the last screen, can you choose the American English or the?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks. So we have the slides available both British English and in American English.
Wonderful.
And some slides are just sort of both, because there's no significant difference in terms of spellings or the word usage in some cases. So this one here on fruits is for both American and British English. You'll find some slides have only got the American flag or only got the English flag, and that kind of indicates which version of English those slides are using. In Koala Go, I think we've only put up the Genie slides for the American English version, just because most people are using those. If you go to our website, we have all of them available within our membership system. And I can show you that a little bit later, actually, how to navigate that side of the system rather than going straight through Koala. Great, awesome. There are some little fun things you can do, kind of warm-up type activities, which I'll skim through relatively quick because they're not the most exciting thing to have a look at. There are things like presentations of new words, and we've also got for some of the slides audio as well. So I don't think it'll play on Zoom. Okay, I can hear that. I don't think that's shared sound because I didn't do that. But anyway, it reads them out in British English and American English for each of the new words. So we've got like audio built into some of the slides, not all of them yet. It's sort of something we're rolling out more gradually. Something I like to do here is also have flashcards and things that you can show to the student and kind of quiz them on it. And within Koala, anyone who's used Koala Go will know you can like open up your videos in full screen and then do a kind of mini flashcard quiz and then jump back to the slides and things like that. We have flashcards available for download as well alongside the slides within the membership system of the website. So that can be quite helpful. Okay, then we get to some of the cool activities. And this, I think, is where Koala Go really sort of stands out. You've got a lot of potential here, a lot of things you can do. Basically, as anyone who's used Koala Go before will know, you can control here. When the students joined, you can allow your students to access anything that's on the slide the same as you can. So as a teacher, you can drag and drop and move things. The student can also do the same, which is why I always recommend Koala Go as the best sort of teaching platform for these kinds of slides.
And,
so yeah,
and the
like
one
example.
thing that's, sorry to interrupt, but the one thing that's very unique, and I think we're the only platform in the world that does this, is even if your students are on iPad and Chromebook, they can use their touchscreen and drag and drop component and do all this on the touchscreen.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's a limitation of platforms. People have mentioned Zoom and ClassIn and stuff before, which work, but they have very clunky sort of student interactivity features like that, and they only work on computers. So yeah, Koala, I'm pretty sure, is the only platform that's offering this on all devices. I've even used it on a phone. I know you don't recommend using it on a phone because the screen's kind of small, but yeah, I've used it myself, like on not teaching, but kind of pretending to be a student. I've logged in on the phone and been able to engage with things as well. So anyway, yeah, we've got slides like this. This one's quite simple. It's like a matching activity. We sometimes have teacher instructions, like telling you what the activity is meant to be, or sometimes there's guides like this one pops up if you hover your mouse over this bit of the screen. And a useful tool that has been launched relatively recently in Koala is the annotation tools at the bottom here. So if you click on the pen button, it'll open up the annotation tools, and it does the same for the student as well. So they can click then and annotate. So maybe they want to match up the strawberry with the strawberry. The idea of this kind of activity, I know it's kind of simple, but the idea is you're just getting the students say, it's a strawberry, I see a strawberry, and practicing the new vocabulary. So it's kind of a vocab slide. And when you're done, you can erase them and close the tool like that. Here's another example. This one I think is a lot of fun because it's getting kids kind of moving things around on the screen. I try and have activities early on the slides that are relatively simple, like concepts, but kind of get the students practicing using some of the key tools, particularly when it's the first set of slides in a unit. So some of the key tools are things like being able to drag and move things on the screen. So this one here, they just drag and match up the different fruits and what they look like. And again, you'd practice the vocabulary. What's this? What can you see? I see a pear. Okay, let's match the pear. And then little rewards and things pop up. So the idea is that I know Koala's got your own built-in reward system, which is really awesome. But also these things pop up on the screen, and you can use it as a prompt to then go click the reward button for your student if you'd wish. So yeah, things like this. This one I have totally nicked off Kendall, who is very active in the groups as well. And she had this great idea where you can move things around and reveal things on the screen. So I've just stolen this idea. It was great. And then you can kind of see, what can you see? Oh, I see an apple. I actually did this with my in-person students only the other day as well. So I teach in a school in Japan here too. And they had a lot of fun kind of playing around, looking at things on the screen. So again, stuff you can move, stuff the kids can really play with, which is what I really wanted with these slides. Another example game, these are like flashcards and things. So again, the whole point of this lesson is vocab based. So I know it's very vocab focused kind of activities here, but you can click on it and it will reveal the word. So again, you'd ask your student, what's this? And then they'd say the word, and then you can check by clicking on it, which is quite a lot of fun.
Now, can they click on that as well? Or
yes. So if you've allowed them within Koala, so let me open up the tools at the bottom here.
So you could actually close off for this one if you wanted to test them. You could just do just you. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that's really good because at the bottom here it says control. Can't use any names. I'm the only one in the
Thank
meeting.
you.
Katie, do you want to invite me and I'll join so that we can show that? Actually.
Yeah, that's quite a good idea. You can do this anytime, by the way, in Koala. If you want to just jump out the browser across to the this page here, which is the whiteboard, you can just close it and then. Okay, we'll do this.
So you just click on that link that she sent you and you're the student you're in. Okay.
Exactly. And the good thing as a teacher in this end, you see it pops up with like, do I want to accept or reject this mysterious student who's joined?
Yeah, great.
So Xavier's currently in like a waiting room. You can play a little game while he waits. And then when I'm ready, I click accept.
Nice.
So yeah, we've got our student in the classroom. Then we can go back to the browser and it will remember where you left off.
Yeah, so what we usually recommend is currently Katie is in Japan and me, the student, I'm in Europe. So we would actually recommend that Katie chooses as the server here, chooses Europe.
You can select here where your student's based, which speeds things up a lot more, which is really helpful if you're teaching students who are in like a completely different place. Anyway, yeah, so you can see at the bottom here, you can change the server. Do that in advance of the class. Don't try and change it halfway through the class because it will jump the slides back to the beginning, I found. But under the control option, you can then give your student permission to click and move things around. Hopefully Xavier should be able to move the mouse.
Mango.
So you can see it's not me.
Strawberry. Banana. Is this a tomato?
No.
And
so the great thing is you
pear.
can get your student to click and move things and interact exactly with the slides. And that works if the student's on a computer, on an iPad, on a phone-ish. Again, the screen's a bit small on the phone. Yeah, so you can control everything. And then maybe your student's getting a bit too enthusiastic and clicking on the answers or something. So you just go to the bottom and then go back to just you. So now he can no longer move things once he's let go of the mango. Indeed. And now it's just me who can move stuff. And we can both move things at the same time as well. Whereas I know with Zoom, you end up in a kind of battle fighting over things. If you use the remote control tool in Zoom, which is just a pain. It just makes it impossible to use if you've got students who are awesome. So yeah, your student can move and drag and drop and play with things on the slide roughly at the same time as you, if they're on a different kind of device. I just want to show you another thing we've got here. We can move the videos just to the side here. We've got some more audio and things built into slides as well. So there can be questions and things. And if you've got a student who's quite like lower level, maybe they're not really reading yet, it's quite nice having the audio you can play instead, which just makes things, a little bit different. Or you can do it as a kind of listening exercise as well. So yeah, this is a grammar slide. So we're kind of introducing the phrase, the question is, what fruit do you like? The main expectation for the student is just learning the phrase, I like oranges, I like apples. A lot of students I find struggle with the concept of adding an S on the end of a sentence. So things like that have been kind of particularly highlighted in the slides. So yeah, and there's a kind of listening activity, and they had to listen to the audio.
I like mangoes.
And then they had to say, oh, which of the fruit was it? And then if I gave the control then over to my student, Xavier, which fruit did she say?
I need to say what I like, or
did you hear the sound? I'm not sure the sound came through.
Yes, mangoes.
Yay.
Yeah, trophy. Ooh.
So these kind of game type activities, what I really wanted to put into the slides to make it just a bit more engaging.
I feel like I deserve confettis here, Katie.
You do deserve confettis. Let's give you a reward. So at the bottom of the screen here, there's rewards that kind of appear in the Abridge Academy slides, but they don't stay there. It's just like a one-off thing. So you can use it as a prompt at the bottom, you click reward. And there's actually two different kinds of rewards in Koala. There's stars, which have been there for a while, and then confetti is this new thing, which I'm really excited about. So it just sort of shows some confetti on the screen.
I have to tell you a funny story about the confetti. So I have confetti because I used to do that with my own students in school, in the brick and mortar school. Mm-hmm. So I have a big box and it's big confetti. Have you ever seen like the big, the pieces are, they're like that big. So when you put confetti on there, I was so excited because now I can get rid of my pride. I was so excited about that. That's an awesome thing.
I feel like
virtual confettis are cleaner. Yeah.
Definitely much cleaner. When I was on Zoom, I would just stick like a star on the screen, but it really didn't highlight it very well. So what's really great on Koala is like kind of a big pop-up, confetti, or the stars kind of appear with a sound as well. And then also it shows at the bottom. So if you give more rewards, like during the class, it kind of adds up. So the student can see that they're making progress throughout the lesson. So I really like that feature on Koala as well. Cool. This is kind of like a quick overview really of the Abridge Academy slides. It kind of continues along similar lines. There are these sort of activities, lots of things where students can drag and drop and move things around on the screen. It's one sort of building a sentence. And I've color-coded things. There's a kind of common color code that's used among the slides, and that kind of link in with, like here's the subject is in blue, the verb is in yellow, and our object is in pink. So it kind of helped to reinforce some of the kind of core concepts in terms of the grammar as well and the sentence structures. On the beginners level slides, I make it really obvious like which word matches with which box, because it's kind of a teaching tool as much as it is as assessment. And in the higher level slides, the boxes are just like grey, so they have to try and remember what the right word order is in the sentence. So it's sort of
how did you do the pair GIF? Did you create it yourself?
The pair GIF comes from Giphy. So within Genially, if anyone's using Genially to make teaching slides, they have a kind of integration with Giphy. So you can import GIFs and things into the slides, and it just makes it a lot more fun. Kids get very excited when they see a pair wobbling and kissing. Yeah, there's lots of these kinds of activities and things they can click on. So making it fun was the main goal there. But yeah, I'm just sort of flicking through a few examples, you get an idea of it. There are also examples on the Abridge Academy website, and obviously within the Koala Go Marketplace, you can find lots of examples to have a look at and actually use with your students as well. These are dialogues. I always like to practice these with the students. So I'll say like, you're Tom, I'm going to be Amy, let's practice the dialogue. These are our two characters, Amy on the left and then Tom on the right. So they appear in most of the dialogues and the activities. And this is just quite a cute kind of one here. and then it tests their comprehension. Like, what fruit do you like? I like apples. And again, if your student's not really up to reading full sentences like this, you can just play the audio.
I like apples.
This one here, they then have to find the apple, and then they click on the apple, and yay, the apple pops up. When it comes to dialogue, so like comprehension activities, and again, you click on the answers. And then these sort of gap fill activities. If you've got quite a lower level student, maybe they're not quite up to reading and things, you can sort of skim through these activities. But if you've got a student who is, able to read things a bit more confidently, these are a great way to kind of build in a bit of listening comprehension, because you can play it at them, and then they can find the word, and also just getting them to practice sort of spotting and identifying words in the sentences and things.
I like apples. What fruit do you like?
So apples, and they can put that here, and then drag and drop. I always think this dialogue was quite funny. I like apples, and then Amy replies with, I like ice cream. And then we always end with a kind of game or an activity. This one's tic-tac-toe, which is one of my favorites. It's quite an easy one for a vocab-based lesson. On Koala, you can just use the annotation tools if you wish, and you can draw like your noughts and crosses. Or you can also use the ones that are built into the slides and just move those on the screen. I find the annotation tools are usually a bit smoother actually to use, rather than trying to give the student control to move things at the same time. And then there's always a kind of summary at the end, just reminding students of what you learned, what the main learning objectives are. And you can use it as well if you've got a bit more time at the end of the lesson to review some of that. So what fruit do you like? Well, let's just review, I like bananas. So you can either just flick through it, or you can spend a bit more time consolidating things. And yeah, that's kind of the end of that example slide.
About how many slides was that?
I think there's roughly 20 slides per lesson generally. It depends a bit on some of the lessons. Some of them have got as much as 30 slides, but they tend to be like really short slides with like a single activity. Some have got as few as like 10 slides, but some of them are longer discussion or type topics for more advanced students. The
one thing that I have just been amazed at with Koala Go is how quickly you guys remedy things. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
It really is. I can't believe, I think you launched in, I want to say January.
Yep, we launched in January.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so in just a few months, they've got the entire platform. Just in awe at the Koala team, really. And you're always listening to teachers. I think that's really great. Anyone out here who's not using Koala yet, please do go check out their Facebook group, because people are always sharing things in the Facebook group. And then always getting responses from the Koala team, and they're actually implementing the feedback. I've had other teaching platforms where I've messaged them with like, there's a bug here, or could this be fixed or something? And they'll come back and tell me, oh, maybe we'll think about it, and then it never gets done. Whereas with Koala, it's sort of like you mention one small thing, and maybe it's just a slight improvement, and the next thing you know is a few weeks later, it's been released on the platform and it all works.
Yeah, I was so impressed. I've already gone in and started paying for it. I'm not even using it yet for teaching. I'm not teaching yet, but I've already paid. I'm ready to go.
You're great, Sherry. Thank you so much. So actually, maybe I can make a quick comment about this. So there's a free version of Koala that allows you to have unlimited group meetings with as many kids as you want, no duration limit, etc. And you have access to the whiteboard that Katie's showing right now, and playground, and you have 2 weeks of shared browser. However, we are charging if you want unlimited access to the shared browser, because it costs us a lot of money in the back end to run this service. So for $15 per month, you have unlimited access to the shared browser if you commit to the full year. And if you pay monthly $19 per month, you unlock the same features.
I think it compares really favorably. I can speak English, honest. I think it compares very favorably with Zoom's pricing as well. Like, it's sort of in a similar ballpark and has so many more features than what you get with Zoom. Like, Zoom basically is just screen sharing, and you can do screen sharing on Koala as well. Actually, that's I think in the free version too, right?
Yes, in both versions. Yep.
Yeah, so in the free version, you can just do like passive screen sharing, and that's if you've got slides on your computer or even on a website, but the student can't click and interact. They're just looking at your screen. So it's similar to Zoom. And obviously the browser is what we've just been looking at, which is where I've loaded up the slides and the student can do everything, and it's awesome, which Zoom just doesn't have that. So that's, for me, just that one feature makes it totally worthwhile paying for Koala Go. You can upload things to the whiteboard as well.
One question I have for you, Katie, is because I remember Kathleen, I think you said that you were teaching older students, like high school students and adults. So, and I know, Katie, that you have a wide spectrum of pieces of content. So for the people who are watching and who are interested in ESL curriculum, but for more advanced English learners, do you have something else on the marketplace that could be interesting for them?
Yeah, we have a few different things actually. Yeah, I was just on the screen here, by the way, was some of our worksheets. So if anyone who is using the curriculum, these are more for the kids side at the moment, like the kind of younger kids curriculum. You can upload the worksheets directly into the whiteboard, which is what I was just showing here. That's with the
Is this
upload.
your worksheet, Katie? Did you create that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
And
this is
where can
available.
everyone find those worksheets?
So these are in the members area on the Abridge Academy website. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the option, I think, within Koala yet to upload things, but I'm actually going to be putting together some like slides and things that go onto them that are Koala activities that got uploaded to the Koala Go Marketplace separately. But yeah, the actual worksheets are currently only on the Abridge Academy website. We have a free tier membership, by the way. So all of the lessons that are on the Koala Go Marketplace, like the slides you can find there, are also in the Abridge Academy free plan that you can find on the Abridge Academy website. But I would say this one here, I had it as an example of a sort of science lesson. I prepared this for like ESL students who were like a higher level. So these were teenagers I was teaching. They were studying at an international school in China. So, you know, the English level was very good. They're studying at international school, so an English medium school. But they wanted sort of a bit more science learning in English because they felt kind of less confident in science classes with all the technical vocab and things like that. So I've got like a series of science lessons like this. Maybe I'll show you one of these as a quick example. These are more science focused. We also have some that are to do with like reading comprehension. There's one on the news reading, but that's not in Genie. That's actually built in our Google Slides format because it's like a really old course. But yeah, we do have a few other things. But yeah, these are the kind of activities that you can have here. So I think there's a review about states of matter, and then we're going to talk about how that links. This lesson, sorry, I skimmed through the beginning. This lesson was about the water cycle and the rock cycle. So it's like on natural cycles. So there were lots of sort of, yeah, there's things like this one on the a series about 25 lessons, I think, in the what we call the Science Boost series. There's also debating classes, which I'm still working on. We've got a couple of lessons up so far.
Are you writing all these yourself, Katie?
Mostly. So we did previously have some curriculum developers actually on board who are working on some of the lessons and things, but it's mostly been me who's putting together all of this stuff. Actually,
it's impressive.
Yes, very, very impressive.
I feel like it does take me time to get things up. So the kind of frustration for a lot of people at the moment is the speed or the lack of speed in uploading new lessons, because these things are still in development. I would emphasize that. So on the dashboard, this is the normal step-by-step ESL curriculum, which is that first lesson we looked at. It's kind of part of that. And it covers at the moment levels A1 to A2, according to the Common European Framework of Reference, CEFR levels. So that's like beginner to pre-intermediate. And that's in the core course, which you just click through here and then it takes you to the lessons. So like it would take you to a homepage, and then in the menus you find all the lessons organized by level, and then you just go across to click on each lesson. So in the expansion courses, you can find a whole range of other lessons that aren't like step-by-step core curriculum, but they fit in at different levels, and you can use them outside of the core curriculum as like expansion or extension topics. And you can just click on the different levels to find different series of lessons. So if you're looking at more advanced stuff, there's debates. Non-fiction writing is in Google Slides format. It's a bit old, it needs updating. And then the advanced one, the Science Boost, is the one we just looked at. So I just click through to that to just show you an example of what's in it. So it's organized then by subject, and you just hover on the menus and you can find different lessons.
I have a question for you. So what's your plan ahead? What type of content will you be working on? What's on the roadmap?
Cool, that's a good question. So the roadmap at the moment is to consolidate the core curriculum. So we've currently got levels 1 to level 5. They're not really fully complete yet. Some lessons have got homework, some don't. Some have got lesson previews, some don't. The audio thing is relatively new, so some lessons have got audio, some of them don't. My plan for the next few months is to consolidate the core curriculum in terms of making sure all the lessons have got lesson previews, have got homework booklets, have got like extra resources like games and things that like on external platforms that you can send your student perhaps as homework, that kind of thing. So that's the main focus. Then after that, I've actually got levels 6 up to 10 already planned out, but they're not in slides yet, they're just on the spreadsheet. So the idea with the core curriculum is to sort of extend that gradually up to level 10 will be about B2 level. So upper intermediate is the goal. That's probably going to take quite a while because there's going to be a lot of lessons to cover up to that point. And then in terms of the expansion courses, they're sort of gradually adding courses in those. At the moment, there's quite a lot of sciencey content. I want to add more that's not necessarily sciencey. It just sort of reflects my own teaching niche, really. So like there's a course called School of Magic, which currently has 1 lesson on it, and everyone's like, oh, this lesson's amazing, we love it. So I want to have some more lessons in that series. But
Katie, I have a question. So when you say you have worksheets you can upload, is that easy to do with Koala Go? How do you upload a worksheet for homework?
Good question. So we go back to, here's the Abridge Academy website. Can you see that at the moment? Good. Okay, awesome. So if you go to a particular lesson, like this is the fruits lesson we just looked at earlier, and you'd find the slides here. You can open this within Koala Go, but obviously if you're doing it just for sending homework, that's outside of the Koala Go platform. And if you scroll down, you'll find them here underneath.
Oh, I see. That's easy.
You just click on the links and then you can send the link directly to your student.
Okay. And second question is, do you have evaluation, like an evaluation for say it was a new student for me? How would I can I evaluate them with Abridge? Is there an evaluation?
We don't have that available at the moment. That is something a few people have suggested and is in the kind of plans of things to do.
Okay.
I think once I've consolidated levels 1 to level 5 to have a really clear overview of all the content and everything up, then I want to put together a kind of student assessment where they can do a sort of quiz.
Great.
You can either do it live lesson or you could have something you send them to do themselves, like an assessment.
Sure. Do like a worksheet. Okay.
Just a note, by the way, on some of the worksheets. Some of the worksheets are hosted on Google Drive. That's what we were using previously for hosting documents. Don't send the Google Drive link to your student if they're in China. I know some teachers are teaching Chinese students because they can't open Google Drive links. Just download the file and then send it to them via email or WeChat or WeTransfer or something. In terms of uploading it to the lesson itself, and maybe you want to do the homework in the lesson, like it's meant to be a homework worksheet, but you want to use an extension activity in the lesson, or your kids don't like doing homework, so you want to do it in class. You can just upload it within Koala Go here. You click on upload files in the bottom left.
Oh, wow. And
then you can select the file, or you can drag and drop it in. And they can be image files, PowerPoints, or PDF files. Once you've uploaded, if you upload it as, when you upload a document, click on the option to upload it as slides, and it will add it then to each separate slide. And then you just jump between the slides at the top here.
Upload as a PPT?
So you can upload images, PPTs, or PDFs.
PDFs.
And once you click on it, it gives you the option as to how you want to add it to Koala Go. And I always click on the option that says add as slides. And then here you can use like the normal Koala Go whiteboard tools, like they can draw on the screen to like circle things. They can add some text. Like here, they're meant to be adding ED to write these in the past tense, past simple. And you can put text on the screen. You can make it like duplicable as well. Like you can lock it so your student can't move it if you don't want them to move stuff. So yeah, they can then copy that and put it in the other spots on the worksheet.
If you want to have access to Katie's content, so there is several free lessons, free activities, free Genially slides on the Koala Go Marketplace, and the rest of her content is on her website. Katie, thank you so much for joining us. It was super interesting. We really love your content. We can't wait to have more on the Koala Go Marketplace. I think it's really, really valuable. I'm teaching French. I wish I could use some of your content. I'm considering using some of your content that doesn't have much words because it's almost language agnostic. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great rest of the week.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for organizing. Bye.